So sweet to be. This is where I wanna be. On up with you, supersonic. We're on fire, rockin' love alive. On up with you. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. So sweet to be. This is where I wanna be. So sweet to be. This is where I wanna be. On up with you. So sweet to be. This is where I wanna be. On up with you. Supersonic. We're on fire. Rockin' love alive. On up with you. Rockin' love alive. On up with you. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah, yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer, put my feet up, high feeling. Yeah. Just in the backseat of the Beamer.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we got some more League of Legends. Let me get this switched on over. All right, here we go. Straight into the draft. We have a Swain and a Melban from the Pioneers coming out. If y'all don't remember the Pioneers, I believe we went against them in Activation. something like that. So week 1, I think we ended up actually going against them twice that night. So this will be very interesting to see. If I'm not mistaken, we did go 1-1, won the first one, lost the second time. So I guess this will decide who really won in the end. But getting straight into it, Tarleton banning the Orin Diana. Don't want to deal with that. Some big team fighting champions, so fair enough. While the Pioneers just go ahead and ban out so far Gimmicks champions with the Swain Mel, and then also getting rid of the Silas just to finish things off. It looks like they'll first pick the Kane. Now this is interesting as I believe Bjord actually picked it into them top lane. That's the game they won. And the one game we didn't get streamed either. So maybe preemptively picking that one and get it out of the draft since it is fearless. Just deny having him pick it. And this is also the same Kane that ended up beating Tarleton in that second series they played. So definitely seems to be whenever you have a game versus the Pioneers versus Tarleton, Kane is the champion. They want to go ahead and first pick and get it out in game 1. Besides that, Tarleton will follow it up with the Graves Vigar. Now, let me see what the roles are real quick tonight. So, we do have Labubu in the jungle with Gimmick in bot lane and Big China mid lane. So, that does mean Labubu is playing the Graves and not the Vigar. We did see him put on an absolute insane carry performance the other week as the Vigar. However, yeah, they aren't playing it now. Or Labubu isn't playing it. We're going to see if Gimmick is up to the task or not. Yeah, so I did want to confirm, looking back through the VODs, we did go against the Pioneers. And in that game 1, we had the Kane, Corky, Swain, Timo, and Karma won that series. And those are just best of ones as well. So we didn't really get to see too much. And in that last series, let me pull that up. That last series, we had Jackson, Mumu, Swain, Ash, and Milio, and we lost when they had the Kane. If y'all don't remember, the Kane just went demon mode and popped off. So, we're going to have to see what changes Tarleton makes to that. It does seem like with Labubu jungle, maybe that'll help out, not let the enemy jungler get so far ahead. Maybe they're prepared for it this time around. But we are seeing Bjord pick the Jax once again in this game. Definitely one of his more comfort picks. And Pioneers did pick up the set. I mean, if they've been looking at Tarleton's games, I mean, they're very aware of what Tarleton plays. Bjord has played set quite a fair chunk in all these series. So, again, just getting rid of more of his champions, definitely limit his champion pool. It's going to be really hard for Bjord here if they do go to a game 3, just to see how deep his pool does go. But for now, looks like we're just going to continue moving on, and we're going to have the Twisted Fate, most likely mid lane. Really good support mid laner. He can fall around his jungle and really, I mean, with that yellow card, especially late game, it's like a 2.5 second stun. I mean, we saw the Twisted Fate ADC last week that absolutely annihilated. Now, I do believe this will probably be an AP Twisted Fate since it will be going mid lane. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll just have to see. Pioneers pulling out the Seraphine once again. And I forgot to mention the Azir as well. You're going to have to see if Big China... I mean, if Big China did pick Twisted Fate, that's definitely a pick. Or maybe this might be a Twisted Fate Vigar bot lane and a Galio mid. But instead, Pioneers are going to take the Galio. Very interesting comp they have right now. I mean, I'm going to assume it's Kane jungle, set top, Azir mid lane, and then Seraphine Galio bot. Definitely just getting rid of a lot of Tarleton's champions. We've seen them play Galio, Set, and Kane a lot, so that's already 3 of their champions picked right away. I mean, it's really good when teams try to do this, just try to... They've seen what the other team can play, so they try to limit the champion pool. And I don't know if Tarleton's doing it on their end either, because we haven't seen the Twisted Fate before. So that might be one of those counter picks, or... Okay, and then the last pick's Poppy. So I do feel like that Poppy, Vigar, we did see Labubu and Valagram play it last week. Really good combos. I talked about a lot last time where Vigar can put up his cage and Poppy can E right onto it, stunning anyone. So that was very strong. We're going to have to see if Gimmick and Val have that same synergy to pull off that same combo, or if it's going to fall short tonight. As we just wait for the teams to ready up and draft here, or in the in-game draft, we can get going. Looks like some of the Pioneers are taking a slight bathroom break, but then we'll get right to it. I mean, just looking at the draft so far, I'll be talking about it for a while, so I'll go through them slow and just talk about them individually. Seraphine Galio bot lane is going to be pretty interesting to watch, as Galio does have that CC, the stuns, to stun up Tarleton to allow Seraphine to land her root, which will then become a stun, and also be able to land her ultimate if she needs to use that. So that's definitely going to be quite strong of a bot lane, especially in team fights. I feel like they have the same idea. They're going to have that Kayn, and it looks like with their comp, a lot of support-style champions like Set uses ult appeal, Azir can use his ult to peel or engage. I feel like a lot of that can be said with almost all of them. They can use all their ults to peel or engage for their Kayn, just really making him the focus champion this game. I mean, we did see him perform last time on it, so I believe the Pioneers are definitely wanting to try and repeat that. Besides that, I mean, we have seen Bjord have his ups and downs. Last week, though, he did a really good job about pummeling that top laner. Even though the first 2 games he had a lot of deaths, not many kills, he was still winning the 1v1 scenarios and was the king of the side lane. And in that game 3, he was able to really show off what happens when the jungler doesn't gank him, as he picked up solo kill after solo kill after solo kill. And that helped develop Tarleton a massive lead to really carry him through on that side lane, not having to worry about anyone pushing any towers. So we're going to see if Bjord is able to play that same tonight. He is into that set. I feel like Jax, I mean, of course he's going to be good, as he does have his E for auto attack champions, but at the same time, Jax does need those items, and Set can be pretty scary early on, especially if both of them take Ignite. We've seen what happens in this season, how crazy they can be with it whenever they both have Ignite, how many early deaths or solo kills there can be. Besides that, we have the mid lane matchup, Twisted Fate versus Azir. I'm going to be very skeptical about there being any early deaths or kills in this lane unless a jungler ganks. I mean, both champions are known just to farm. They need items. They want their level 6, especially since they are more support-style mid laners. They just want to farm it out. Now, of course, if the Azir is really talented, you might see some spicy plays come out. Maybe we'll see him pop off a little bit, but that's not too likely. As I mean, even in pro play, I mean, Azir normally just sits back and farms until he can get something. And then the last one I'll probably talk about is Labubu in the jungle. Now, the past few times he has jungled, he's had Schlitten in the mid lane, but today it is Big China. I feel like that's where they're able to find really a lot of their success last time, is with Big China in the mid lane, as he does play those more support style mid laners, which help Labubu be able to scale, pick up kills, and just have someone to follow him around the map to just always give him that numbers advantage. And that really helps them win a lot of these jungle, small scrapples and fights early on, especially. So I feel like that's kind of the team comps on both sides. And we are getting into the actual league client draft. I mean, we're just locking our champions. I go ahead and swapped us over to there. Still gonna have our 3-minute spectator delay, so still have some time to get into the game. If y'all ever have any questions about what a champion does, or any mechanics of the game, feel free to ask. I'll try to respond as quickly as possible, even though I do have a slight delay on my end, so I may not see it right away. But that is the draft for game 1. We're gonna have to see how this series goes. I mean, last time we were blessed to have a best of 3. You know, Tarleton losing game 1, but then bringing a reverse sweep, coming back in the next 2 games, showing what they're made of, showing all the practice they've been putting in. Now, they did have Labubu in the bot lane, so I don't know, maybe that's the secret Tarleton needs, but I feel like they still definitely want to try out this role setup as, I mean, they're doing it in game 1. Let's see, with 2 minutes remaining. Now, funny little visual bug, we see 2 Canes on the enemy team. That's quite interesting. Surely the Pioneers have just found another way to duplicate a champion so they can have 2 Canes in the same game. They don't need a Galio. It was just a ruse the whole time. They're going to sneak us and maybe have 1 red, 1 blue form. But right now, we can kind of see where all the lanes are. Yeah, it is Twisted Fate mid lane. I mean, who knows? Maybe Tarleton did feel like playing him APC or ADC after last week, but it does look like they are going to continue with just some more normal roles. I feel like we have seen gimmicks Vigar with Val's Poppy before, the time before Labubu played it, of course, and it didn't go so well, so we're going to have to see if Tarleton has been practicing that combo with those players or not, that synergy. But I do know for sure Val's Poppy is a very strong pick. With just his ultimate alone, he can really change a lot of these team fights by knocking them away and having a big comeback from that alone, or just in the early laning phase, finding these stuns and just having that insane Poppy damage for no reason. She just lays down a Q and auto attacks you with her shield whenever she gets it off her passive, chunks it at you, and chunks out your health with it. I do like to mention, I believe this is now the 3rd game in NECC. We had the activation, and then we had 1 series that did not end up going too well into the last series that they played for NECC, which they won. So Tarleton's currently 1-1. We haven't played too many games compared to the other teams, as we've had a lot of pushbacks, delays, and we also had an early bye week. While the Pioneers have already played 3 games and they've won all 3, so they're 2nd in the league currently. Tarleton's sitting at 5th, mainly just because, like I said, a lot of the other teams have already played 3 to 4 games, so they just have that number advantage for sure on us. But this game could be a big one, as if Tarleton does win, definitely set them up in a really good spot to make it to playoffs, as they'll be taking out one of the top teams. This game definitely does matter. I mean, almost all of them do. Now game has started. We're seeing both teams walk on out. Seeing some early pings come out. Someone's like Tarleton's trying to set up an early defensive point on this top side. I mean, Kane is one of those champions that are very well known for stealing your raptors early on. Right now, I'm going to get rid of this because we might see a little fight break out. Azir is going for the ward, so the Poppy is joining them. Goes for the stun, so Val started E. I like this. Graves is going to dash over the wall to help give him that boost, and he's able to go for the kill. Twisted Fate now arriving with gold card. I believe he needs to flash this, and he does, and the stun lands out, leaving Poppy the last man, and Val's going to pick up that kill, and that's going to allow Labubu to start the blue buff. So Gimmick not having his support early on, but that's not a worry at all, as Tarleton picks up an early 2 kills. Galio's just igniting? I guess he's just trying to force Gimmick out of the lane, but it doesn't really matter because Gimmick has TP. I mean, that's definitely a really interesting ignite, if you know what I mean, but I mean, really good early play from Tarleton there. It would have been best if Labubu could have got 2, but I mean, still, 2 kills is better than none, and one of them did go to him. I guess on the flip side, though, Kane did get, or surely got, a lot of early stacks from getting those kills. Ooh, and I like this ward here. I think something maybe going on bot lane. Yeah, Galio is looking to go in on Val here. Val does have flash, and he's going to have to use it if he doesn't want to die. And he's going to end up falling anyways. But they did have a ward when Kane was doing his Raptors, so they know Kane is coming up here. But Boo is going to wait in this bush, knowing it's about to happen. And then he's going to instantly hit Kane here. Most likely calling for Big China to come over. As Labubu is able to scare the Kane out of his jungle. So definitely a lot of trades coming out early. I mean, Seraphine was able to find a kill on Val the Grand, but just with that level difference, and he got hit by all those CC abilities. Made it hard for Val to live there. Bjord going for some early trades, almost dodges that set E. Would have been massive. Looks like he's just going for the 1v1, and he's one auto attack away from winning, but he ends up falling down. The set just ramped up, had his conquer, and especially just that double hit passive allowed him with that ignite to finish out Bjord. But yeah, Bjord probably a little tilted as set did live just one auto attack away. You see Labubu getting that first scuttle. Does have a slight CS lead as he was able to not only kill Kane, but still his blue buff and get him out of his own jungle. Vigar just chilling. Looks like he's going to take an early reset, or maybe after this wave. I mean, he does have that TP. He's running slightly low on mana, but the longer he waits, the better it'll be for him. Val going in. However, his E barely misses the wall, but Gimmick's able to get him out with an E of his own, putting down the cage. Val lost a lot of HP, but I believe Tarleton is looking for a reset really soon as Vigar doesn't really have many resources left. Looks like Pioneer's bot lane are just going to play it slow. Set uses the W. Kane is on this top side, but we're going to see if a fight breaks out here. Looks like Kane is just trying to get... I think he stole the Krugs, potentially. And he did get that scuttle. And Pioneers are aware that Graves is on those Raptors, as we see spam pings coming out. Go ahead and get us some objective timers turned on here. See some trades coming out. A lot of pings coming out onto Labubu. They know he's in the jungle, must be looking for him. Oh, Bjord flashes away, but Set just flashes right after him. I mean, Bjord just didn't have his E, so he engaged without having that crucial spell, and that allowed Set to just kill him. Now, Labubu might just be trying to pick up a kill here. But Set lives on 1 HP once again. Holy moly, as he just survives it. And Kane follows up with a flash of his own to help secure the kill. And I believe, yeah, he actually picks it up here as well. I mean, that's definitely going to help him regain what he lost early. But man, so far this set is just living on nothing. You see Val ganking mid lane right now. He's going in. Yep, he stops the jump. And, oh, but he's not able to get the stun down. But it might be enough damage. Why is the cards land? Big China finds his first kill of the game. Gimmick getting engaged on bot lane, so he's forced to flash away. However, he is able to escape, not losing too much. Now, Set doesn't have his W, so this might be a pretty good trade for Bjord. But he does back out, not wanting to overdo it, as he's already died twice so far. Gotta say, Val's having some pretty good map decisions so far. Able to pick up those 2 early kills and find another kill in mid lane. Besides that, Labubu is just continuing to farm up. The slight CS lead, but nothing really too much to write home about. Gotta say, Big China is doing a really good job at farming so far in this game. He's able to keep even CS with Azir. At the same time, getting that kill. You just have to be a little bit worried now, as Azir does have that ult. Well, we see Bjord trying to proxy here. But it looks like Kane will just be able to get a free kill. This should allow Tarleton to pick up their first dragon. Let me see if Graves is on it. I believe he is. Yeah, he's already started it. As soon as they saw Kane gank top lane, he went ahead and did it. And Kane's going to react by going to steal these Raptors. I mean, very smart cross-map play, as he'll still be able to farm all of his top side here. So although Tarleton gets this dragon, Kane will be able to take some of Graves' camps away, allowing him to come back a little bit. I mean, B. Jordan might have to scout out these Krugs right here, but he's not even thinking of it. As Graves will now see... Ooh, Set ults him back. They know Kane's up there. Looks like Jax will use the ult. And he will just end up falling to this top gank. This Set right now is just too monstrous. But we do have Big China ulting in here. He gets the yellow card out. Labubu, I believe, tried to flash over the wall, but it failed. They're going to continue to chase, but with Kane, he's just going to be able to jump over the wall. 2 flashes used, nothing gained. Tarleton is having misplay after misplay by playing on this top side. I mean, B. Jordan right now is just having a really rough early game. Galio now is in mid lane, trying to look for a gank. Val knocks him towards mid lane. But since it is a Galio, probably won't find too much over on that side of the map. Grubs have spawns, but Labubu is going to go towards his bot side. Not wanting to overdo it. Some good trades coming up by Big China. I mean, what we want to see right now is possibly Tarleton try to slow it down, play for these dragons. They already have 2 dragons. Or sorry, 1 dragon. And if they can get a second one, that'll just help them last longer to scale. At this point, Jax just needs some items to be able to survive in that 1v1. While Labubu and Gimmick and Big China all need items of their own just to deal some big damage. Ooh, Gimmick barely missing his cage there. Looks like Val the Grand is just going to go in. Seraphine flash ulting the Gimmick. And Val is going to get tower dove by... Or he tower dives them and he's going to get killed by the Kane. Another unfortunate play. Dragon will be spawning in the next 2.5 minutes. I feel like Kane definitely could have got grubbies earlier. But potentially he just wasn't tracking the Bubu's jungle. Not knowing who's on that bot side. With no gold card, they won't be able to follow up anything else. Azir does have flash ult, while Big China doesn't have much, and he is in that low HP range. He's definitely going to have to look to reset here real soon. He doesn't have TP, so Tarleton might just wait on these grubs, or they might just full send it with that home guard on the Twisted Fate, thinking he can make it back in time. Now, if Tarleton do start grubs here, it'll be on a really good timer, as Kane is just now resetting. Tarleton could definitely get 1 or 2 grubs in time here. Now Set's able to get out of there with his ult. However, Labubu does start grubs. Azir did base. Probably just not coordinating with his team because Galio is here. However, this will be a situation. See, Labubu definitely gets the 2 grubs. Not too worried about that. Looking for this last and final one. Kane's just going to look to smite it. As Val goes onto the Kane, everyone else is focusing the Twisted Fate. So Labubu is going to shift focus over onto this side. Kane flashes out. Looks like Big China will fall. However, Tarleton does secure 2 of the grubbies, and the rest of them make it out. They try to make a plane happen on Kane, but he did flash away. Azir, just a bad base timer. I mean, he had ult, he had flash. At that point, I don't feel like he needs those items, as he could just ult for his team and secure them 2 grubbies, but they do look like they'll just be happy with the trade they got. As Gimmick proceeds to just push in Seraphine and pick up a tower plate, as well as get his Luden's Echo. A lot of people are now finishing their first items here. Both junglers will be on this bottom side of the map. We might see some play happen here. Galio's looking for a mid gank. They do spot the Poppy. Val the Grand just is sensing it, and he's able to dodge it. Leaves Azir. He does get hit over the wall. Galio will send in the ult, but with the Poppy speed up, he's able to just run out of it. Ooh, Gimmick able to land a really crucial stun that bite him enough room to be able to get out of there before Kane could kill him. He does have to use the flash, but it's definitely worth it. But right now, Set is coming down from this dragon. Very interesting. I mean, they're obviously just wanting to secure it. But at the same time, this is going to allow Beachward to get back into the game, as he's going to pick up quite a few tower plates we're going to have to see here. Yeah, he picked up 4 tower plates. Oh, looks like the charm barely connects onto Labubu as he's trying to look to escape. Looks like they actually might pick up a kill here. They do get one. But Labubu will fall. Just a lot of fights happening. Like, I just want to mention this. Look at this. Beachward's going to get first tower of the game because of the Set rotate. I feel like at this point, when Pioneers have the kills, they don't need Set to come down. But since they do send him, the gold difference is actually still almost even. As Beachward, even though he's 0-4, he just gained some massive gold. Poppy going in on the Azir. Getting chunked down. Okay, Gimmick is able to get the cage off and then snipe him with his Q to get another kill. Pioneers making slight blunders across the map. I mean, they do currently have the kill lead, but I mean, with all those kills, only a 300 gold advantage. It's not exactly what you want to see. Right now, the two supports fighting it out, showing that tanks can do damage. As they don't have a single damage item, but are still chunking each other down. Like China picks up a tower plate in the mid lane as Gimmick proceeds to push in bot lane. It's crazy that the gold is almost the exact same, even though Pioneers have 6 more deaths. It just goes to show how important towers are and how much gold they give. Set having his item and boots. He's only just up a, couple items, and Beachward just components. So that difference may not be quite there in these 1v1s anymore. As we just seen Poppy and Val the Grand, oh sorry, the same person. Now the Poppy and Galio keep trying to play around this mid lane. Both teams are looking to play with their mid laners and their junglers to really try and find a play. Kane now has blue form. He must have got that after that drag fight. And he has picked up some early damage items. That opportunity. Ooh, okay. Engage going on Big China. He gets double ulted. He still has flash, but he's not going to use it. As now it's the Kane versus the Poppy. He gets exhausted, so he's trying to get away. Vygar ends up caging. And Val the Grand will end up getting chased down. Looks like we will see a gank happen here on the top side. Set going in, just now realizing Graves is there. I mean, this could be a big shutdown for Tarleton. Set having no W. Oh, Beachward flashes too late. Set just trying to run away. However, with that fleet footwork, Labubu will be able to pick up a kill. I thought the shutdown was only 200 gold, but it looks like Set actually had a 600 gold bounty almost. So Graves just got a mega paycheck. I mean, again, Tarleton, they lose 3 kills in the end. I mean, they lost Big China, Val the Grand, and Beachward, but with that one shutdown, Tarleton's actually somehow ahead of in gold. I mean, it is just a couple hundred, so not really much of a difference, but the fact that they are still down this many kills, but yet are this even in gold, is just insane. Looks like Kane's trying to go in on this Graves right now. He is forced to flash away as Labubu is just starting to chunk away his HP. Galio might be caught unless he flashes out of here. Right now, Poppy chunking him down. He flashes, he gets gold carded. They're looking for more. They see them all with the Twisted Fate ultimate. Set now TPing in, trying to save his teammates here. Poppy's gonna ult him away. Everyone just looking for some fight.
But in the end, they're going to back out. I mean, we're starting to see Labubu hit like a truck. Tarleton down 8 kills, but are ahead of gold. Love to see it. Now, looks like teams are looking around this Herald. Bjord does have the TP advantage over the set. So far, Gimmick the only one on his team, and then Seraphine on the enemy team with 0 deaths. However, Gimmick has been able to build up quite a big CS lead, as Seraphine has been rotating a lot, especially around mid lane, not be able to find anything. And that's just caused her to lose a lot of XP and gold from the lack of CS. But Gimmick loving it, farming up. Let's go and do a CS or a stacking check real quick. He does have 160 stacks on the Vigar, so that's an extra 160 AP. Set him at over 400 AP. Very strong. Let's go ahead and compare that towards the Twisted Fate right now, who's at 138, and the Azir at 152. So Vigar, definitely really ahead right now in that department. Ooh, Poppy able to find a really good stun on the Seraphine, forcing her to flash away, and the Galio ult. And with the Jax TP, this should allow Tarleton to have the advantage on this dragon, as they've already pulled out Seraphine Flash and an ultimate. One less AoE ultimate for the side of the Pioneers. And Set already using his W. And now Seraphine ult. Oh, Kayn is able to steal the dragon, and they find Bjord. We're going to see what Tarleton can do here. Looks like Valdegrand will end up falling. Looks like, man, I feel like Tarleton could have definitely done some more team fighting there, but Gimmick is just playing it a little too safe. As I feel like he's underestimating his damage at this moment. Graves going in, but he does get exhausted. It's going to cause him to die as well. Man, I thought that fight was about to go completely different. But in the end, Tarleton lose 4 members as well as Dragon. And that's going to allow the Pioneers to pick up a Herald. Just not playing fully as 5 cohesive members really made them end up dropping that ball in that team fight there. Kayn doing this Herald currently. Looks like they will be able to get it. I feel like Tarleton, after pulling out that early Galio, probably should play a little bit more cocky and try to start the fight before just doing that dragon. Instead, they do play for that dragon, and that allows the Pioneers to rock up and take it for themselves. Right now, everyone just going back to a lot slower game state. I say that as there's a little fight breaking out in bot lane. Set will just build an ult away to get out though. And Poppy will just keep looking around the map for another play to happen. Right now we see some pings coming out mid lane. Gimmick ready to do something with the gold he has. Ooh, looks like Labubu will be the first one to get caught though. Galio just stunning Labubu, forcing him not to be able to even move. As then Kayn is able to finish him off. Now, Big China has to be really careful here, as he's just going to get probably looked to dove on as well. And Kayn just picks up another kill. We saw this happen last time this guy played Kayn. He was able to run around the map and do this exact thing. Ooh, big set damage on that W. Bjord falling again in the 1v1. Tarleton just starting to play a little bit impatient. Because now they're just keep losing back-to-back fights. Allowing the Pioneers to gather up a lead here. Ooh, it looks like they will be able to catch Kayn here. This is going to be almost a 1,000 gold shutdown. Going over to Gimmick the Mimic, now 3-0 on this Vigar pick. looking to scale, and he's doing it. He's been able to play a really clean game so far. I mean, if he can get a death cap, yeah, he already got 2 needlessly large rods. Helps, especially with that shutdown. If he can just look to finish that death cap before this dragon, but it is only a minute and a half away, he may not have enough gold to do it. But at least by that next dragon, he's going to be an extreme threat. However, Pioneers definitely do have a lot of abilities and utilities to get over to them. Seraphine's going to send the Flash Ultimate and the Exhaust. Little interesting, she's doing all that before the dragon spawn. She won't have any of that while Big China will be respawned. So, I mean, definitely a little bit of an overkill for a single kill. Especially not even a shutdown. Would be a lot stronger at the dragon fight, but Val the Grand's going to use his flash, almost making the same mistake. Because they're going to look for this Galio, and Galio will just be able to flash away himself. Ooh, Gimmick able to find a really good pick here, taking another shutdown. Azir just not respecting the Vygar cage. Instead of walking into it. Oh, Labubu's in trouble here as Kane is moving at Mach 10. And Kane will end up flashing towards Labubu there and just one-shots him. And now Big China overstepping, and now he's going to fall as well. Oh, quite unfortunate. Big China also had the blue card, not the gold card. Right now, the game is up to Gimmick the Mimic, as he is the sole member of Tarleton that's been able to hold on to his lead. We're going to see how much damage he can really do in these fights. So far, he's been putting up a fair amount. He does have that death cap, so he is at 800 AP. He's been scaling like a madman, and he's getting there. I mean, if Tarleton can always just drag out this game long, Gimmick will just continue to get stronger. Galio not too fearful, just taking these wards for free, as Tarleton has to respect the Kane by now, as he can just move across the map in less than a second. Right now, looks like Pioneers are just walking into the jungle looking for something, as they try to get Val the Grand before he can base, but he does get out of there. Oh, looks like the screen is not capturing. Wonder when that happened. Really hope that wasn't for too long. Sorry about that, I made sure everything else was good. See if I can do this as well. Right now, some teamfights are breaking out. Azir misses the ultimate. He's going to get pushed back into this team. Vygar will ult, but doesn't find anyone. Graves is now getting chunked down. He ults the Twisted Fate. Will Labubu be able to find a kill here? And he does. Kane falls as Nexus set, and he lays out a big W. And now he's going to ult the Vygar and into the Graves. Oh, looks like the set will just be able to clean it up for the Pioneers there. As B. Jord, the last member of Tarleton, ends up falling, going 1 for 5. They do pick up the Kane, but at what cost? Pioneers will look to do Baron, even though they don't have Kane. They don't have to worry about it, as not a single member of Tarleton will be able to make it in time. This next fight's definitely going to be this dragon. This is their soul. So Pioneers definitely looking to claim that. I like to say, Set was able to pull off that feat as well without even having to use Flash or Ignite. So having that in this next fight can be really scary. Labubu is able to finish his Infinity Edge, so he will have a damage boost. And he is going for this full crit build. So far at 75% crit. If he can get to that 100%, maybe he can start hitting even harder, potentially getting like an LDR here just to deal with these more tankier members. Like that shred would definitely help. Looks like B-Jord looking for a pick onto Azir. However, Azir just dashes out of it. And he's able to avoid getting caught. Besides that, the Pioneers are positioning themselves for this dragon. It still has a minute to spawn, but they are getting this deep vision out. With this Baron buff pushing in the bot lane, they're just looking to try and find an early play as Azir tries to go for a little bit of a Shrima shuffle. Besides that, they're now waiting for Tarleton to enter this jungle. Kane most likely looking to chunk some people with his W. Big China is the first one to be found. However, Gimmick is able to put a really well-timed E that stops the Pioneers' push and pokes them down, leaving a lot of them low on the HP. Gimmick and Big China are low themselves, but they do have teleport. They should be looking for it back here. Looks like the Set will engage on Val the Grand here. He's going to ult him away. Kane flashes towards Poppy. He is exhausted, so he might be CC'd long enough. But in the end, it looks like we didn't see it, but Labubu got CC'd and got picked. At this point, Tarleton are now just too far behind. They aren't really able to do anything in these short fights anymore, especially without Gimmick. Gimmick does still hurt. It's just hard as a mage, you can only apply that damage onto one target. And the Pioneers will be able to get this Mountain Soul. I mean, definitely really good, especially into a mage like Vigar, who's all about burst damage. Being able to stop that initial burst is really beneficial. Well, guys, I will apologize. Sorry, it was a black screen, I guess, for the entire game. The Streamlabs is just glitched up, and I can't see chat at all. So, I just eventually saw it myself, but, I mean, we will see the next game, as it looks like this one will be closing out here soon enough. As Tarleton end up falling 1 for 3. They do get the Kane once again, however, it's not enough. As Pioneers just look to close out. Azir getting caught here. He does have the Zonias. And he will flash away. But the Set's just going to walk up and hit these towers. And that'll be the end of game 1. Wow, it truly was a black screen the entire time. My bad, guys. I might have to restart stream here, we'll see. But for now, if it does work in game 2, we'll go on with it. But I do have it pulled up on my phone, so I'll be able to see if it is working this time around. But we'll get back to you guys in this draft 2.
phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Is it the liquor in my system? My desires are so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel. Draw me in and make me feel. Draw me in and make me feel. But you look so good and I know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Is it the liquor in my system? My desires are so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel. Make me feel.
I'm running on diesel, baby, I'm active. Shorty wanna know what's happening. Baby, no cap, I'm captain. Honey, no rings on me, ain't bagging. Diesel, feeling I'm massive. I kill it like Shaq, I'm shacking. Bad little bitch, she savage. Hit it on top all night, I'm damaged. Bomb, 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 bomb.
Welcome back, everybody, after that exciting black screen of a game one. I mean, Tarleton did lose, so maybe I was just protecting you guys in your eyes, but for now, we are getting into draft 2. I will say I do have it pulled up on my phone now, so if there is any issues, I will see it. I was quite curious. I'm like, man, no one's typing in chat. You guys just decided not to show out this week, but looks like it's just a mess up on Streamlabs, but like I said, I do have it pulled up now, so I will be able to see anything. Do apologize for that, but yeah, let's just move on and get into this game 2. Be able to watch some League of Legends tonight. I would like to mention, as we go into this draft, Big China is going back to jungle, and Labubu's going back to ADC with Gimmick going mid lane. Now, we did get to see a glimpse of this last time that Tarleton played, and this is what allowed them to reverse sweep the enemy team and come out on top. So maybe after losing that game 1, Tarleton, they just want to switch back things to what they do sometimes. I mean, it's still a little bit early in the season, especially with NECC. Like I said, this is only game 3 out of, I believe, 5 or 6 games. So I'm just trying to figure out in the group stage what exactly they want to do. But besides that draft, as we can see, Pioneers banning out the Swain, Jinx, and Corki. Now that Labubu is back to ADC, they do want to get rid of those champions, especially as they did beat him on the Corki last time.
Besides that, over on Tarleton side, Vago, Diana, Renekton banned out. Again, with that Diana ban, I just want to make sure that champion cannot be played this series. But we don't see this happen too often, but they are dropping some other bans here. As we'll just have to see and draft for a little bit. We're going to see Zyra, Wukong, Sivir all coming out. And then we're going to have the Ashe, Braum, and Mundo. Now, it's going to be really curious to see if this is a Mundo jungle or Mundo top. I haven't been playing too much League recently, so I don't know if his meta has really changed much. But I do know he has been quite a top and jungler for some time now. And I know Big China might play it, and Bjord maybe has played it once before. And looks like they're going to ban out the orange, just getting rid of more teamfight champions. We did see Pioneers in that first game for... We did see it at the end there, how they're able to group up and play strong as 5. I mean, they do like these champions that have AoE ultimates. We already seen it again with the Wukong Zyra. The Wukong able to spin around, knock people up. The Zyra having a big circle that knocks up. And then, of course, the Sivir speeding up her whole team. I will say Tarleton definitely does have him engage here. With the Braum passive, they'll be able to stun up targets. And then the Ashe will have plenty of slows, and then her ult having that big stun. And we'll try to follow these Ashe arrows and see where they go, especially if Libubu does try to snipe around the map looking for some cross-map ultis. Sorry about that, guys. I had to mute up for a second. But besides that, looking at draft here, Pioneers finish it out with the Belveth and Brand. I mean, that Brand pick, again, could just be trying to deny Tarleton from it, as we have seen them pick it quite some time now, especially Libubu playing it, and having a really good performance on it. I mean, last time he did play it, he ended up carrying his team on it as well. So Pioneers just looking to really cancel out their champion pool, even if Tarleton does win this game too, just make it harder for them to build a draft in game 3. Besides that, let's go talk about the drafts here. Gimmick is on Mel, one of his favorite champions. We've seen him play it ever since she was released, playing it now for a couple semesters. I mean, it's one of his favorite ones, besides, of course, Swain, which they had to ban away, and the Nasus, which we haven't seen yet. No bans, no picks. Might be a game 3-er. And that's always exciting. That's what happened last time. Able to pick it then and end out the series with that champion. So we might see that again, unless Pioneers are aware of that. Besides that, Mordekaiser picked on the top side. We did talk about this last time it was picked, how strong it can be at these jungle pits, as you can just remove the enemy jungler, denying their smite, and end up killing them. Just so you guys do know, we're just waiting a little bit to actually start the draft, so I'll just keep us on this screen right now to talk more about the draft, let y'all visualize these champions. Zyra Sivir, not the strongest bot lane. It can be really good if the Zyra is good at landing skill shots. However, with the Braum, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult, as Braum can always just put up his shield and stop any of like the Sivir Q, which is like the boomerang throw, or the Zyra E, which is her throwing her plants and rooting people. Braum can block that, and it won't go through any more minions or champions, as it will stop where the shield is. That's one reason why Braum is so strong. I mean, it would have been a good pick in the last game as well, as Braum can block that Seraphine ult. He just does a lot of strong interactions with his ult. And especially playing with a big, melee auto attack fighting team comp. I mean, Ashe Braum is just a classic, as Ashe can slow them down, allowing Braum to get close enough to put his passive onto the enemy, start that 4-hit timer to stun them into, she can also then follow up with an ult, and then Braum can follow up with his ult. Just a lot of engaged tools as well as disengaged tools makes it a very strong bot lane. Now, Sivir is known to be weak early and strong in late game, so it's going to be up to Tarleton here to really try and prevent this Sivir from scaling and try and get ahead. So I feel like bot lane is going to be the target to really look at towards this next game, because Zyra, she does like to fight. Like I've been saying, is Ashe Braum very scary, very spooky. Brand in the mid lane, I want to say most of his spells are pretty good into Mel, as she can't really reflect much besides the Q. So Gimmick shouldn't really be getting stunned by Brand, as his Q is what procs the stun. And if Mel can also reflect his ultimate, I feel like that is the one bad thing about playing Brand into this match, is that, I mean, they already saw that Mel and Braum were picked, which both of those champions can just stop Brand ult, as the Braum shield can delete it, and then the Mel, if she reflects it, well, now Gimmick has a Brand ult. So I'm not for sure if it keeps bouncing off people. I don't know the exact interaction. I don't know, maybe it's just a one-time bounce, or if it is just where it keeps ping-ponging back and forth like Brand's normal ultimate does. So we'll have to see. Maybe we'll see it this game. It'll be cool if we do. Maybe we'll all get to learn a new interaction together. And besides that, Bel'Veth in the jungle, we haven't seen her too much. Maybe we've seen her once or twice, but she loves to farm, loves to get ahead. So after seeing how that Kayn played last game, definitely is right up their alley to play a champion like this. Again, Pioneers playing this team comp that is more supportive around their jungler. I mean, Sivir is known to be more... She is hyper carry very late into the game, but for the longest time, she's mainly just a support for her ultimate, giving her team movement speed and doing some slight ricochet damage early on. And then, of course, the Wukong top being a big teamfight player. I mean, his ult's all about teamfights, getting right onto that back line. And then Zyra, again, having that AoE ultimate, and Brand having those AoE ultimates. AoE ultimates, if y'all don't know, AoE just means area of effect, so it's like if you can hit multiple people with one spell. And that's what all those people excel at doing. They're all about sharing their damage onto multiple targets. And then, of course, Bel'Veth is more of a single target person. They want to kill one person to get their passive, which gives them some stacks and increases some of their abilities and what they do. And so you're just like Vega or Jinx, you really want to get one kill to start a team fight, get that passive, and keep running around trying to kill more and more people. So Pioneers, it looks like they just really want to build team comps like that, where their junglers, their main carry, they really want to play around, and they'll just play a bunch of champions that can support them or appeal for them, or just try to distract Tarleton away from them. So, I mean, it's really good if you can pull that off in a team fight. However, it can backfire if that Bel'Veth does get behind. Like, we did see Tarleton, well, y'all didn't see it, but I saw it, where Tarleton were able to get a really good double kill early on. It's a shame we didn't see it, but Kayn and the Azir walked up towards the Raptors spawn, trying to see if they can get a ward down or potentially even steal those Raptors. And Tarleton was prepared with it, with the Poppy stun and the Graves E, the little dash. They were able to chase down Azir and then chase down Graves, picking up 2 kills, and Labubu was able to steal some of the jungle. So it was a really good early play. In the end, though, it was not enough as the Pioneers were able to recover and get a lot of kills in the end. But that was game 1. This is game 2. New game, new you, right? So we're going to see them finish up their selections here. We haven't talked too much about the Mundo pick. It does look like it will be in the jungle. It's been finalized. Big China on the Mundo. I mean, he's just a tank that's going to be looking to farm. One of the good parts about Mundo jungle is he has really good wave clear. So he doesn't really gank much. He's more of just like a perma farm, do objectives, kind of AFK, which is fine in a lot of scenarios. It would just be bad if Bel'Veth is able to get ahead or steal camps off of Mundo and just leaving him nothing to do, while Bel'Veth will just be able to continue to build up a lead. That could be one of the worst case scenarios here. But I'm going to be very interested to see how team fights play out, especially around these dragons. Last game, we saw the Pioneers trade that first dragon for a top gank, and they were able to get a kill off of it, while Tarleton was able to get a free dragon. B-Jord tried doing some proxying, and that did pull the attention of the jungler. So in the end, taking that 1-for-1 trade was good. And then Tarleton were able to look towards Grubs, and they got 2 of the 3. However, they did lose Big China in the process. Just trying to go over some of the key plays y'all missed last game. And I feel like from there, I mentioned it over, but I'm sure y'all probably weren't paying too much attention. It was just a black screen, but even though Tarleton was down about 10 kills at one point, they were still up in gold, even though it was only a couple hundred, just because of the amount of towers they were taking early on and the objectives they were getting. So even though it just goes to show that you can be behind in kills, but still be ahead. But after that this one dragon fight, I believe it was the 3rd dragon or something, they just got wiped out. And then from there, it was just them trying to constantly recover, but not be able to. So they had a really, I don't want to say really clean early game, but they had a pretty decent early game. Especially what we've seen before. They're trying a lot of new things, and a lot of them worked out, but also there's definitely some plays that didn't work out in the end. And then after trying all that stuff out, Tarleton decided to go back to the initial role for the rosters. Labubu saying, enough is enough. Put me back on the ADC role I can carry. To see you be able to do it. Pioneers with the double jungler once again, having 2 Bel'Veths. Just a visual glitch, but would be funny if that's how it actually ended up working. You pick 1 champion for 2 people. At that point, I said, give me 2 Malphites. I'll take 2 of those guys. If this last minute of spectator delay sometimes feels like forever. I feel like I've yapped so much. I'm like, surely I shouldn't just keep yapping, but don't want to leave you guys here in pure silence. Maybe I can put on a little bit of tunes while we wait. These last 30 seconds, get a dance, chill out a little bit. Get your water now, get your popcorn. This game too, I mean, Tarleton, they don't want to lose. They're going to put it all on the line. I mean, both these team comps looking like they're going to be some really fun fights going to happen in this game. So be prepared, be ready, grab your snacks now as we head into game 2 for tonight. Best of 3 fearless. Tarleton does win. It's going to make for a very interesting game 3 draft, as so many champions on both sides have been picked, leaving us whatever is left over. Don't worry, guys. It's black. Okay, there we go. Let's go. We get to see the login screen, and we see the game. Now, if it ever does mess up or anything, let me know. I do have chat open on my phone, so I will know. But for now, does look like we are chilling. However, I believe we are paused. Well, guys, that's very interesting here. Oh, okay. Looks like it was on my end. Oof. That was scary for a moment. I was like, oh no, did something happen? Did they pause or was it on my end? But yeah, okay. In the end, nothing scary. Too much happened. Mundo gets chunked a little bit, but Mel was able to return some of the damage onto the Bel'Veth. As we now get into this true game 2. Mel going out for some early poke damage. Who do I play? I love ADCs. However, my favorite champion's probably Yone or Yasuo. You know, gotta go 1 in 10 sometimes to really give back to the community. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I love ADC. I guess my main is Jinx, but at this point I kind of play whatever. But they did ban it in this game 1. Last time we saw Labubu play Jinx, it was pure cinema. It was the very last game besides this series where he ended up picking Jinx, getting a pentakill at the very end of the game. I mean, that's always just super hype to watch. I mean, on either side, pentakills are just those things you don't see happen very often, but when you do, it's like, holy cinema. But right now, Bel'Veth looking for a little bit of an invade. Ooh. Looks like Tarleton don't want her to just get away from that for free. As Bel'Veth flashing away, she's ignited. Braum looking for more. Looks like they will just end up taking the red buff. I mean, Bel'Veth did want the smoke as she took the Gromp from Big China. And so they're going to put that back onto her by taking... Oh, looks like she does get the red buff as well. Does she win the 1v2? Oh no! It's a disaster as Big China is not able to get the red buff. And Bel'Veth is now just 1v2ing them. Mel is here. I guess Braum started W. Maybe if he started Q, it could have been a different story. Okay, but right now Mel able to get some big poke damage onto Brand. This might actually be a kill with how many stacks he has on him. Looks like nothing will end up happening. Labubu ended up farming alone. And this was kind of talking about in the pregame where you don't want this Bel'Veth to get ahead, especially early on against this Mundo, but right now Tarleton having no choices. She's able to steal both of the camps and get the first play. I wonder what happened to Big China's Smite. I don't know if he used it on the first camp or if he just missmited the Gromp and lost the Smite battle to Bel'Veth. Now we're seeing some farming coming out. Labubu did get a lot of solo XP with Braum going around on that gank. So he does have a level lead currently. That should go away soon though, as bot lane it's really almost impossible to hold on to these level leads for long. Oh, but looks like they're going to flash towards Val. I mean, he doesn't have any summoners after dying to Bel'Veth. And he's just going to get caught again. We saw this, or that happened the last game. Y'all just going to have to believe me. Val got caught early on, similar to that, where the bot lanes just flashed forward for him. Right now, that early game play just is starting to bite Tarleton. But with only 2 kills, especially early on, it doesn't really contribute too much. It's just more so, can they continue that snowball and build up a lead? Or can Tarleton make a return play and just completely shut down whatever lead they had at the early game? I mean, with how little minions are worth early on, and since there's no objectives to really take advantage over, kills too much aren't the craziest thing in the world. I guess I should probably turn off things now that we're in game. Bjord had a rough time last match. He got solo killed, and it was going really good for him at first. but then Set just kept living on 1 HP, and that was enough to build up a lead that, as y'all saw at the end there, Set was just able to be the biggest contributor in those fights. Even with the Fed gain, it was really the Set that was unkillable and denied Tarleton from making any play. Right now, Zyra's looking for this dragon. Mundo is a level behind, so I don't know if he'll be able to really help for this fight. Ash does have hawk shots. Let's see how low this dragon is getting. It's at 1800. Looks like Tarleton are not rotating for it. Big China looking to steal. Oh, he does not get the steal off, as he's now trying to escape. He has flash. Belveth being able to make it out just barely. It looks like Big China will be able to make it out as well. A good attempt of a steal. Looks like they both have 600, so it could have gone either way. But in the end, Belveth was able to secure the kill. Ash ghosting in, wanting to do something here. He does get exhausted, but he does have a fully procced lethal tempo. He does cancel an auto attack. Oh, what is that HP? Sivir living on nothing. Unfortunately, and more kills going over to Pioneers. I mean, they are starting to build up that snowball lead with Sivir now being 3-0. Labubu just expecting just 5 more damage almost, and that would have got him a kill. And with his runes, it might have secured him another kill, as he might have took some runes that heal him after getting a kill. So could have been more, but unfortunately was not enough. It all just comes back to that early game. Valdegrand's just so low on XP in those early fights that it's hard for him to really help in these 2v2s. Now B-George just fighting off a gank here. He does have 20 CS up right now, so although we haven't really seen it, looks like things are going better for topside this time around. While mid lane is just pure farming, both just doing whatever they can. While this Belveth is just building a slight lead. She hasn't really gotten too much more besides what she got early on. But currently, having that level 6 over Mundo puts her in her position where she can do a lot more. As she now ganks mid lane, flashes onto the Belveth. Okay, yeah. So we saw the interaction. Ooh, Labubu hits a cross-map snipe, sending Belveth down to low HP. It looks like Labubu's actually rotating towards mid lane here. Looks like nothing's gonna come out of it. But, okay, so we gotta see 2 interactions there. Hey, we gotta see... Okay. Okay! B-Jord winning the 1v1. I don't know when he got that first kill, but he's 2-0. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw it, but yeah, B-Jord making plays happen. Mel executes the mid lane, and B-Jord wins the 1v2 top lane. All right, well, things are now going great for Tarleton, as they are up a little bit in gold, and B-Jord will get not only 2 kills, but 2 tower plates. I mean, rough first game, but he said that is not going to be this game. As, yeah, he's putting on, so far, a really good performance. 30 CS up, wins the 1v2. Going back, I never really got to finish what I was saying, but it turns out if Brand ults Mel can reflect it, and it will keep bouncing back and forth. So, Brand, definitely a questionable pick in this game. Obviously, they're just trying to pick it so Labubu couldn't pick it in game 3. But I don't know how impactful it'll be. Normally, we see Brands just pump out some crazy numbers. Like what I was saying with the Braum Shield being able to delete his ultimate, and now Mel W also being able to actually use the ultimate against the team. It's going to make it really hard for Brand to find these ults that really matter. I could be wrong, though. Maybe he does find them and he pops off, but so far, if Tarleton does play it respectfully, they'll be able to use it against them almost. For now, though, at this point, definitely just want Tarleton to play for things on the top side of the map, as Bjord is their carry. I mean, Gimmick, he did find a solo kill himself, so he's also one of those members that Tarleton needs to play around. They do lose the first dragon and all 3 grubs over to Pioneers, but that's just kind of piggybacking off of that early misplays. Right now, bot lane, even though they did lose 3 kills, they're just able to stabilize and keep farming. Lububu not losing really any CS on this Sivir. It's pretty interesting to see the Pioneers ADC has gone exhaust both games. Maybe it's just what they're comfortable doing, but it's definitely not the most meta thing. Oh man, looking top lane, Bjord has a 2-level lead. Wukong took that early ignite, thinking he can try and do something similar to last game, get all those early solo kills, but that's not what's it's not what ended up happening this game. Some more fighting going on mid lane. The second dragon has spawned. They turn these on because I just wish they could have that preset. Maybe you can somehow, but I don't know. I just cast it. But Velvet looking towards bot lane. Looks like Valdegrand will get caught. They do get dragon, so if Braum does fall here, it's not the worst thing in the world. Mel has arrived. They just have to chase down this Belveth. And right now, it's Labubu 1v2ing him, pushing him off. Mordekaiser sent the TP. He will ult the Zyra to try and finish her off. It looks like Belveth's trying to get out of here as well. I mean, Bjord got the kill. I knew that was going to happen, so we just kind of skipped that. But right now we see Belveth trying to run away. She does have dashes. Yo! Labubu finds his second cross-map ulti onto the Belveth. I mean, this guy's a sniper this game. He hits 2 of them back to back, and he hasn't missed a single ult. In the meantime, he used 1 in bot lane in that hit, but still sending 2 towards mid lane. You have to see into the future, predict where the enemy's going to be, launch your ult, and hope it hits. And so far, Labubu, he's opened that third eye, and he's able to find these ultimates. I mean, that's really good for Tarleton. They were down 0-4, coming back now 5-6, getting that dragon, especially a Hextech drag. Now, although it's not the soul, or they won't get the soul from it, a Hex dragon is still just really beneficial to have for that attack speed and that ability haste. And it looks like the soul will be Cloud Drake. Okay, Mordekaiser getting engaged on here. He doesn't really have anything, so this might just be a death. Yeah, Belveth gets the shutdown. That's pretty bad, especially onto Belveth. She's going to really take that. Bjord, after TPing down bot lane and using the ult there, he just didn't have anything to help out his team. Belveth, with her Bork, she is looking to 1v1 Big China. Big China has flash, and he will be forced to use it. Belveth flashed as well, though. So, I mean, taking that 1-for-1 trade and not dying is always important. And he did get that Heartsteel sack, so some might consider it worth for Big China there. As now, 1v1s are happening out of the mid lane. Brand uses the ult. Bot lane's also 2v2ing with the Braum ultimate. Braum exhausted. Oh, it looks like the Braum passive went out last second, right as a Lububu's auto attack was going towards Sivir. Maybe if she got stunned, it could have been a follow-up, but nothing ended up happening. I mean, Lububu, even though he did have that 1 death, he's definitely making more than up for it with these ultimates. Well, can they get Sivir here? They're looking for something. Asholt is on cooldown. As Big China is in the mid lane, looking for some big plays. Bot lane will be able to get a tower plate here with those crystals procced. Looks like there's going to be a gank mid lane as Belveth's looking towards it, but nothing's going to happen in the end. Gotta say, Bjord's doing a great job here by holding on to a 2-level lead. I say that as Wukong levels up. He still does have a level lead, though. He should be getting level 13 very soon here. I feel like levels matter so much on top laners right now, especially since they get that bonus XP. Okay, Mordekaiser has ulted. That's that weird music we're hearing right now. I did not know we could hear that on the other side of the map. That's good to know, I guess. Just that Project Mordekaiser skin. He's got those techno sounds. Very interesting. Labubu going for that Storm Razor. I mean, that's going to be really important into this enemy team as he can get away from the Wukong and the Bel'Veth and everyone else on the enemy team. Storm Razor, if y'all don't know, just gives you a little bit of a movement speed buff. Well, let's see. Can Braum get over the wall? Looks like Labubu will just leave him, saying you're on your own. But Tarleton, they do get the Herald. So, I mean, we have seen this happen quite a few times now where Pioneers, they try to gank the other side. Oh, looks like Labubu might get tower dove here. Tarleton have to come to his aid if he wants to survive. Bel'Veth is behind in this jungle over here. Looks like she's actually just going to take Gromp and Wolf, so nothing will happen. I thought for a moment Labubu might have been in trouble, but looks like he lives another day. Ooh, actually, as he isn't just living, he's going for a kill. Labubu, solo kill. Love to see it. I mean, that's going to give him a little bit of CS lead. Sivir had the 3 kills over him. Somehow finds a way to still lose that. As Dragon has spawned with Sivir 20 seconds dead. Bel'Veth here mid lane. Mel has big damage. Ooh, both the ults barely miss Bel'Veth. Mordekaiser has arrived, though. Oh, it looks like it's not going to be enough. All the members of Tarleton fall. I'm trying to get all of the action. Looks like we might see 1 kill happen. Okay, 2 kills. Okay, so initially Tarleton lose 3 members. It was looking terrible. But then they come back by killing the Bel'Veth and the Brand. Looks like we should have given them a little bit more time there. So both top laners use their teleport. So they won't have that for this next drag fight. So we should just see a normal 4v4 unless both the top laners stay. I mean, that might happen. But Gimmick did get a kill on the Bel'Veth, so he's now 3-0. Looking very strong. And they're going to put down the Herald mid lane. Now, I will talk about Cloud Soul here in a minute after this action dies down when we go back to farming. But for now, looks like tensions are extremely high. Plays might break out any moment. Brand currently top lane with no teleport. The Herald finds the tower mid lane. As, okay, well, looks like no fight broke out. The tensions were not high. Tarleton just pick up the dragon without even a ward or contest from Pioneers. So, as we go back to farming here, as I think both teams are going to do, I want to talk about Cloud Soul. So, whenever you get Cloud Soul, or just the normal Cloud Dragons give you movement speed and slow resist, which is very important, especially to Zyra Brand, who have slows that want to prevent you from walking away. Brand has that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which if y'all don't know, every time he uses an ability, it's going to make slows happen. So, it's normally really good as he can apply it to a lot of targets. But, so just having those basic Cloud Drags will be great for that. But on top of that, Cloud Soul will give you a movement speed buff every time you ult. And if you look at Tarleton's ults, they all want that movement speed buff. Ashe wants to run down the target she arrows. Mordekaiser wants to run down whoever's in his ult. Mundo, I mean, that's all Mundo does. He just push, runs at you and looks for a kill. Looks like they're trying to gank top lane here. Mordekaiser has the Bel'Veth in the ult. Who is trapped with who? It looks like the Bel'Veth might be in trouble here. Oh, but Bel'Veth gets him down when he's at 1 HP. Big China finds the return kill. And with a roam from Gimmick, they find a kill bot lane onto the Sivir. Sivir used both of her summoners. You know what, guys? We're going to do a quick replay here at this bot play. Gimmick coming down onto the Sivir. Boom, boom, boom. Damage happening. Tarleton picking up 2 kills on both sides of the map. It was a very quick kill. I thought something happened, but it looks like nothing too crazy happened. Oh, it looks like another gank here mid lane. Let me slow this down. We are a little bit behind, so I'm trying to get us caught up. But boom! Gimmick finding another one. Tarleton now up in kills for the first time this series. Or, I guess they have quite a few times this game, but holding on a pretty good lead for the first time in this series, up 2k gold. Now, I should be safe to kind of skip ahead to where we missed. There we go. So, we didn't miss anything. They had just been farming for a bit, but now we're caught up with the stream. I just wanted to review some of those plays because we want to see what our Texans did. Right now, everyone going back down to farming. Shout out to Big China. I feel like he's having a pretty good game so far. I mean, we did see him in the mid lane last game. Him going back to jungle. I feel like him and Schlitten both have improved a lot in the jungle role, especially compared to early on in the semester. They've just grown, been learning well into their role. So big shout out to that guy. Besides that, Gimmick, like we talked about, him loving the smell pick, locking it down with so far a 5-0 lead, 1k bounty on his back. So you already know the opposition wants to look for him as Mundo runs towards Zyra. Push, push, push. Oh, looks like will Gimmick get 1v1'd here? He does, but he gets a kill. Does he die? He does die to the burn. Brand definitely winning the gold trade there. I mean, 1k gold for just 300. Gimmick must have just misplayed it there. We saw a top fight potentially break out, but Zyra was able to get away with her ults. Right now, Labubu, he finished his coal, got him some extra gold, as you can see here. I mean, just a cheap item you get, you kill some minions, get some gold, and then you sell it back for some more gold. And he does have an Infinity Edge as well. At this point, even though Sivir started out 3-0, she has now fallen behind in gold, even though Labubu's just 1-2. With this Cloud Dragon, whoever gets it, I feel like it's just going to be game winning, as both teams could benefit massively from it. I've already talked about it a lot, but even the Pioneers, all of their members would love the Dragon just as much as Tarleton would. I mean, movement speed is just one of those underrated stats, as you can just dodge skill shots a lot easier, you can just get to team fights a lot faster, you can push side lanes and then make it to mid lane for a team fight before the enemy can if you have a lot of these Cloud Drakes. Especially when you're already playing movement speed heavy champions such as Mundo, and of course the Ashe tends to build a lot of movement speed items as well. But enough of that. This dragon fight is about to break out. Tarleton pulling it out right away, wanting to get it over with. Labubu might be caught here mid lane. He does not have flash. Okay, his ghost is able to get him out. Looks like Valdegrand's the next one to get caught. But in the end, I think this is really good for Tarleton. Yeah, they distract long enough to secure Dragon. Very good by them. Labubu, knowing he could play a little dangerously because he has the ghost. Val has the flash to keep his life intact. But a really good distraction right there, as they're able to pick up their soul point. This next dragon could very well be soul for Tarleton. They do have 3. Hex take with 2 clouds. I mean, that already is very strong. A lot of extra stats from that. If this Mundo gets like Dead Man's Plate next, just to get even more movement speed, he's gonna be, yep, he got it. Although no Dead Man's Plate, it charges up to 100 stacks, and you just get that for moving around. And once you do, you get this red trail behind you, and you become fast. I mean, he came out of base, so he already has a lot of movement speed. We'll see what happens. Yep. So even without any anything else, he has 560. Oh, because that's the cloud. So normally he has 492 movement speed. Keep that in mind. Oh, a Gimmick died. I was too entranced by the movement speed by Mundo. But a good comparison right now is Belveth with 419. So 419 compared to, you know, how it can go up to 490 or 440 definitely matters. The Gimmick dying, I mean, Gimmick to enter. Am I right, guys? I'm playing. He's doing great so far this game. 1 death. Without any objectives up, shouldn't really mean much, especially now that he doesn't have a shutdown. He's just worth 300 like anyone else. As any ADCs do, though, Labubu, as he continues to stack these items, he will just become more and more of a threat naturally as he gets more crits, more attack speed, more AD. Sooner or later, he'll just start taking over these team fights. That's the one nice part about Ashe. You don't even need items sometimes. You just gotta hit these ultimates, which so far Labubu has been doing a great job of. His ult's now coming up in about 7 seconds here. So we're gonna see potentially another cross-map ulti. Already seen a couple. That's what really makes or breaks Ashe players, how good they are with this ultimate when they use it, if it hits, how often it hits. Because sometimes, you know, almost all the time, it's always, oh man, that's so close. But you need it to be dead on. Labubu does miss that one. However, Mordekaiser, if he wins this 1v1, oh, Bel'Veth lives on 1 HP again. This Bel'Veth, I swear, is the master of doing that. Mel was able to reflect the brand ultimate. Labubu is forced to flash away, though. And it looks like Gimmick picks up 1 kill so far. Picks up another. But then Bel'Veth comes in and cleans out. Man, so many of these fights, if Bjord is just does like 10 more damage, Bel'Veth dies there. And that would have been a completely different fight, because then Bjord would have all the stats of Bel'Veth since he was in the ultimate. And he would have just turned around on Pioneers and killed them all, but that's not what happened. Instead, they end up losing that fight, which allows the Pioneers to pick up a Baron buff. And Labubu come in here and pick up some kills. You're gonna see as he's coming around this corner, already hitting the Zyra. He has to be really dangerous here, as this Bel'Veth is extremely dangerous. However, she's trying to run away as well. Looks like nothing will happen in the end. So, I mean, really good play for the Pioneers there as Bel'Veth continues to get strong. Again, like we talked about in the pre-draft, they are playing for this Bel'Veth, and we can see that in these stat lines, with Bel'Veth being 8-4, having majority of the team kills. Okay, looks like might collapse onto her here. I feel like so far this game, Val has just been overstepping a little bit. He is 0-6. Keeps getting caught quite a lot. Right now, one of the most important things when Bel'Veth gets Baron is trying to stop the Bel'Veth from getting Baron. As you see, she spawns all those little minions that sometimes can be extremely tanky to deal with and just annoying, as they'll start to shred your towers. But for now, Tarleton, after losing that tier 1, they're able to push back Pioneers from getting anything else mid lane. But they are grouped up right now. The Ashe Hawkshot sees them all, as Bjord's going to back up. He does have the ultimate, but right now, Bel'Veth has been able to 1v1 him in the ultimate. Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds. So Pioneers are definitely looking to prevent Tarleton from getting Soul. Now Tarleton could give this Dragon, as the Pioneers only have 1, so it's not like they need to full-on fight. But of course, you know, if Tarleton could get a Drag Soul. Oh, Braum getting caught here. Oh, he does knock up the Bel'Veth. She gets stunned. Stunned again. Tarleton are able to kill her. This could be massive. Right now, Mordekaiser is going in. He used his ultimate, so he's going to have to back out here. Okay, Mordekaiser does have TP, so this isn't the worst, as he can just come right on back to this fight. Bel'Veth is going to do some jungle camps to heal up naturally. I mean, you see, she was at a quarter. Now she's already going to be at full HP. It just goes to show how strong these lifesteal champions can be. Bel'Veth coming around from behind. She's going for the knockup. She's going to get caught, actually. Labubu's still at a lot of HP. I mean, he is getting chunked down from this brand. However, he's going to look for another kill. This Wukong is just tearing up Tarleton's backline, though, leaving Bjord to 1v3 here. Mordekaiser, no ults. With these 3 members, Pioneer should be able to get Dragon. That Wukong just tore through Tarleton's backline, though. I guess he just had a better TP flank than Bjord did. I was just watching Labubu that fight. I mean, he went in there, he was able to finish off the Bel'Veth, got the brand. It looks like Tarleton weren't able to get too much more. Still extremely close game. Like I said, they could give that Dragon, though, so it's just 2 to 3 dragons still. Tarleton have that advantage, and Pioneers just have a slight gold lead, mainly from that Baron buff. All these team fights just come down to who's able to pick who. It's really important for Tarleton to get these Bel'Veth picks like they're able to get that last time, but it seems they also just have to respect that Wukong from diving in. They just don't have too much shred against tanks currently. But Labubu is building that LDR. You can see him here, he has that last whisper, so he does have some armor penetration now, which should help, especially with this Wukong, with how beefy he is. Belveth just going this pure anti-tank shred build. She can 1v1 the Mordekaiser, especially the Mundo as well. Just a lot of tank shred from that Bork and the Terminus. It's really up to Labubu and Gimmick to kill the Belveth. I mean, definitely would help if Val can CC her like he did that last fight. It was a pretty good disengaged, getting that Belveth chunked. It did help him end up killing them, but it just left them too weak where they weren't able to defend themselves from anyone else there. Val the Grand does have a Frozen Heart, which reduces the attack speed of the enemy. That definitely helps into a stacking champion like Belveth, who gets more and more attack speed. She does not have an attack speed limit. I know we don't see her too often, so I'll just talk about that for a moment. We see Belveth, she has 104 of these stacks, which if you read it, it gives her an extra 110% attack speed. And she does have attack speed items as well, so she has already 3 attacks per second, which normally the level cap is 2.5. Okay, looks like we are seeing a pick happen in the mid lane. Sivir is able to flash and miss the ultimates. Labubu trying to follow up with the Braum ult, but since the Braum ult doesn't hit, Labubu's ult cannot follow up with it. But their ults are on a shorter cooldown than Sivir's flash, so if Sivir does overstep again, they will be able to find a pick. Belveth looking to do some invading, possibly looking towards Gimmick up here. He's going to jump over this plant. It's going to be... does Gimmick make it out alive? Now, he did use his W already, so he may not be able to. Yeah, and Gimmick does fall here. Just overstepping. The rest of the Pioneers are wanting Tarleton to try and come up here for a fight, as they're ready for a fight of their own as they force stack up in this jungle. With this Baron spawn, they want to move in towards it. Ashe and Braum still on cooldown here. They don't have any engage really, besides Mundo just walking in. Wukong, they have to be careful. Yeah, Wukong's TPing in now. Mordekaiser ult. We'll see. Belveth misses the knockup, which should allow Tarleton to potentially pick her off here. No, as she's just going to continue heal. Oh, before Labubu falls, he's able to kill the Belveth. However, if more of Tarleton die here, they won't be able to stop him from doing Baron. Wukong flashes the Mordekaiser Q. It looks like Bjord will end up falling. And that brand damage without Mel there to block it, and I guess Val just mistimed his shield. Brand ult just tore through Tarleton's team. That's the thing. They have to play these fights very precisely and just a little bit too hard to achieve. I wonder if Gimmick will look for a TP here to try and help out his team, or to prevent them from doing Baron, but it looks like they're just going to give the Baron. Now, the one downside about getting the Baron is Belveth won't be able to claim it. If they just wait like 5 extra seconds, Belveth could have gotten it. Or if they just wait for her to respawn, then she could have got the passive, which is what you really want from Baron as Belveth. However, Pioneers, they're just happy to get it as they go towards this dragon. They want this soul point for themselves, prevent Tarleton from getting soul. Now, Tarleton does have majority of their ultimates up, and they should get the Scuttle for Vision. Now, they see everyone. They could get a pick on the Zyra. Labubu sends the ultimate. He just solo kills the Zyra, and now is solo killing the Brand. However, he just has no follow-up from his team. He was fighting all alone as Val now falls. Bjord gonna ult in on that Brand there. Big China just trying to get away from the Belveth, but it's not enough. Bjord ends up getting a kill. They do kill 2 of them, but in the end, Tarleton loses yet another team fight. Labubu found a really good angle. I feel like he could have done a lot more if his team just played around him. But they back up towards their other members, leaving Labubu on his own. He almost finds 2 of them, though. But in the end, Wukong solo ults him, and he gets exhausted by the Sivir, so he's just not able to finish out the double kill. So many of these fights are just coming down to if only they can get one more auto, if only they can do one more just ability hit or anything, then they can get a kill. Right now, you see how fast this Bel'Veth's starting to attack. Her stacks are stacking. I think at this point, Tarleton, what they really need to do is have Bjort ult either the Brand or the Wukong to give space for Labubu to just pop off in these team fights like he has been doing. Maybe once Labubu gets this Bloodthirster and gets some lifesteal, be able to handle it a little bit better. But right now, there's just too much going on in the back line. They need either, yeah, Mordekaiser or Braum just to disrupt that from happening. But a lot of the members here are starting to get towards these last couple of items. This is when the team fights just really come down to. I mean, it's gonna be harder and harder for Tarleton as this game progresses. As Bel'Veth will continue to stack. She now has 133 with 3.31 attack speed. Besides that, everyone's just going back to farming. We can see right now, Bjort has done a great job about keeping his CS lead, and Gimmick has one as well. While both ADCs are pretty evenly matched with farm. And then in the jungle, Bel'Veth is just... Now that she can just run around the map at these high movement speed, as well as just having all this damage and attack speed, she just shreds these camps. And if y'all don't know, she gets all of her stacks from camps, or champion kills, or objective kills. So just by killing things, she'll pick up these stacks. And now it looks like Mordekaiser might have overstepped here. He does ult the Bel'Veth, but at this point, Bel'Veth is just too strong. He will W last second here. However, it's not enough, as there's another fight breaking out here as Big China runs away. Looks like they tried looking for something on Sivir, but she was able to back up. They're going to continue to push. Mel should be able to hold the tower, as she does have that long-range artillery. The Ashe ult does hit. Ashe ghosting in, looking for some damage. Oh, but he got rooted. He's able to pick up a kill, but he's just CC'd. Oh, and then with Gimmick falling, this looks like it's going to be the end for Tarleton. A very good game. They're able to find a lot of good plays early on. A lot of picks and kills, but these last few objectives, they just weren't able to win a single fight. A lot of fights so close. Just a couple more auto attacks, or if they position differently. But this will be it, as Pioneers win game 2, winning the series. Sorry about that first game, guys, but at least we're able to watch this one. Sad to see the Texans lose, especially after putting on such a great performance early on. I mean, it was looking really good, but you know, that's what happens in the league. Just because you have a lead doesn't mean you're going to win it. But thanks for coming out tonight, guys. Y'all have a great one. We'll catch you next time. I believe the next stream will be on Friday, so y'all don't have to wait too